The countdown of kindness. It was New Year's Eve in the bustling city of Chicago. The streets were alive with the energy of anticipation. Neon lights flickered against the glass of towering skyscrapers, food trucks lined the avenues, and laughter echoed through the chilly air. Snowflakes fell gently, dusting the city in shimmering white. Every corner hummed with excitement as people prepared for the midnight countdown. At the heart of the city, Grant Park had transformed into a wonderland. Families, friends, and couples gathered near the iconic Buckingham Fountain, which sparkled under a mesmerizing light display. Music filled the air as street performers played saxophones and violins, their melodies weaving seamlessly into the night. Among the crowd stood 35-year-old Emma Walters, a single mother of two, holding her kids' hands tightly. For Emma, this New Year's felt bittersweet. The past year had been tough. Balancing two jobs while raising her kids alone often felt like climbing an endless mountain. Tonight, she had decided to bring her children, 8-year-old Lily and 6-year-old Jack, downtown to experience the magic of the celebration. She hoped it would help her forget her struggles, even if just for one night. As the three of them strolled toward the fountain, Lily tugged on her mother's coat. "Mom, what's your New Year's wish?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Emma smiled softly. "I just want a better year for us, sweetheart. And maybe to find more ways to help others." Nearby, 60-year-old Roger Grant stood by a hot cocoa stand. A retired firefighter, Roger had spent the past few years quietly observing the world, feeling somewhat disconnected. His wife had passed away 2 years ago, and though his children visited often, the emptiness in his home loomed large. This year, he resolved to step back into the world and find purpose again. As Roger took a sip of his cocoa, he noticed Emma struggling to keep Jack from slipping on the icy ground. Without hesitation, he approached them. "Careful there, little guy," Roger said warmly, steadying Jack. Emma looked up, startled but grateful. "Thank you so much," she said. "No problem," Roger replied, smiling. Kids have a way of making ice their playground. The brief exchange sparked a conversation, and soon, Roger found himself walking with Emma and her children. He told them stories of his days as a firefighter, and the kids listened with wide-eyed wonder. Emma, for the first time in months, felt a flicker of hope. As midnight approached, the crowd grew denser around the fountain. The countdown began, 10.9.8. The cheers rose, echoing across the city. Emma, holding her kids close, noticed a young man in his early 20s standing alone nearby. His worn jacket and hesitant demeanor caught her attention. Without a second thought, she walked over, offering him one of the sparklers her kids were holding. "Happy New Year," she said, her voice kind. The young man, whose name was Marcus, smiled shyly. "Thank you," he replied. He had moved to Chicago 6 months ago, chasing a job opportunity that hadn't worked out. Tonight, he'd almost skipped the celebration, feeling the weight of loneliness. Emma's small gesture filled him with unexpected warmth as the clock struck midnight. The city erupted in cheers, fireworks painting the sky in brilliant colors. Strangers hugged, friends toasted, and laughter rippled through the air. In that moment, Emma, Roger, and Marcus found themselves united, not by past hardships but by the simple, profound connection of kindness. Over the next weeks, the group stayed in touch. Roger became a surrogate grandfather to Lily and Jack, teaching them how to build snowmen and sharing tales of bravery. Emma and Marcus worked together to set up a community program that distributed warm meals to those in need, a project that gave Marcus newfound purpose. By spring, their lives were irrevocably intertwined, each person discovering that the new year wasn't just a chance to start fresh but an opportunity to weave hope and kindness into the fabric of everyday life. And as the next December rolled around, they stood together once more, ready to count down to another year. This time, not as strangers, but as family. Moral of the story: kindness, no matter how small, has the power to create profound connections and transform lives. By reaching out to others, especially in times of hardship, we not only bring hope and joy to them but also find purpose and happiness for ourselves. The new year reminds us that fresh starts often begin with simple acts of compassion.